Welcome to the Lights Everywhere podcast. Today I'll be continuing my interesting conversation with Peace. I know Peace as a very passionate person. She's a woman of passion. Peace, can you tell viewers how you came to discover your passion? How you came to narrow it down to what drives you pretty much every day?
So I talked previously about, getting to know people for who they are. And, that was kind of the inner driving force, I think, since I was young. And, not only did I want to get to know people for who they are, with my students, but people in general. I mean, I think I spent a lot of time talking with even older folks. I think I have more older friends than people my age group, too. So picking their brains was one of my things. So, I think when I was teaching, just realizing that there was a lot of family issues going on and why the kids couldn't concentrate in school and, they're not eating at home. And there's just a lot of underlying things that were going on. So I think it was more of that mentorship aspect. And then it was like, okay, well, what am I going to do for my master's program? Because I definitely wanted to pursue that.
Yeah.
And so, counseling and mental health counseling just fit. And there's even a story behind, before I even actually went into counseling, I tried to go into another field and didn't get in. So God has his way of redirecting me to really what I wanted to do. Yeah. But we're not going to go into the complete story on that. Mental health counseling was what I settled with, and it was the whole experience was great because, here I am in Whitewater, Wisconsin, from Los Angeles to Whitewater. Yeah. And, going through the books and reading and studying abnormal psychology and all the diagnoses and the underlying factors that actually attribute to these diagnoses. And, as I'm looking at this, I'm just like, wow, it seems like everything, all these factors is the African American community. These are technically my people. This is what's happening. And so I think I probably had like a biased view about the community. And so it just completely switched over. And so this dying passion to say, no, something needs to be done, because what they're doing is just throwing people in prison cells and not really giving them the therapeutic needs that they need. And I mean, it stems back literally from slavery, when you want to talk about post-traumatic stress syndrome. And so I even wrote a paper regarding that and how, because part of post-stress, now I don't know if I should go into this, but part of that is that an event happens and technically you get some kind of therapy or treatment or, something to help, kind of cope with the incident, but it never really happened, and not within the African American community, because you had slavery. Yes, it was abolished, but still in the communities, people were getting lynched. Families were still experiencing these traumas, and so from there's no really therapeutic interventions that's happening. People are just continually dying, and even till today, you still see the same thing. Communities, people are dying, people are getting shot. There's just countless of things that are happening that will be classified as a trauma. So there was never no healing process. And even reading the books, they talk about how there's even from birth, it starts to change your brain cells, and then you start to see learning disorders and stuff. It's just a never-ending story. So through my studies in my master's program is where I saw this, and it was just like, no, something needs to be done. And there has to be an aspect where I can be a part of that. And so the drive has been so deep now that it's like, and working with these individuals, it's just like, wow, what's happening. Like, I feel like the whole world needs to be a part of providing a therapeutic environment in order for them to start to thrive somehow. And so my passion really was, okay, mental health. They taught me these skills, little therapeutic things you can actually implement. However, when I'm realizing that God is mental health.
Right. Right.
God is mental health. Right. And, even during that time in Wisconsin, I think I was kind of stirred away from the church. I stopped going to church completely because I was in a stage where I think I need to find God for myself, because I really didn't understand all the, the different religious denominations. And I remember having that conversation and just saying, God, I just don't understand. I don't understand why there's so many religions. And it was really a very open conversation that I had with God. And, slowly, and that's the thing. It's like slowly he just started to just reveal himself to me. And, no one can take that away from you. How he just starts to answer those questions, in a different, and it's just amazing. So I really started to develop that relationship with Christ. And from Wisconsin to Illinois, and then coming to the Citylight Church, it was like a divine connection, because there was something in me that was like, you're not going back to Los Angeles, because everybody's like, are you going back to LA? But I knew I couldn't go back. I just knew that that's not where I needed to go. And so, coming to Citylight Church and understanding the vision of the church, and seeing that connection, and, the people that I've been connected to through God's dying favor, it's been amazing. And I don't know if I should just go on to the next phase of my life.
I just love how God has given you a burden. When you were talking, I think it's the third verse of Psalms 23 that came to my mind. And, it talks about the fact that God restores our soul. Before that he says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures, and he restores my soul. I see that, God has given you a cause to restore the souls of people, to restore their mind, to restore their will, because most of them, they have lost their wills, and to restore their emotions, because God is a holistic God. He doesn't just want us to be born again in our spirits, but he also wants to work on our souls. Amen. And he wants to restore our bodies. Yes. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's well put, definitely. When you say burden, it's interesting, just, because I feel like I'm still growing with my walk with Christ. And, if just any advice I can give to someone is like, we have to seek him for ourselves, because that's the only way you can really, know who he is. And so the burden is something heavy, yet something so beautiful, to see minds being transformed, to see people actually having hope, and not feel hopeless. To see people know God for who he is, because he's such a beautiful God, to see people understand who Christ is, why would we not want to be a follower of Christ? He's amazing.
Right. And knowing Christ
exactly
is where it all starts from.
Where it all starts.
Because when you know him, then he can reveal who you are to you.
Exactly.
Yeah, because he made us, and the Bible says that we're wonderfully and fearfully made. He crafted us. We're the apple of his eyes. He beautifully fashioned us. So he knows every detail. And as we go to him, which is, the first step in discovering about yourself, as we go to God, who is our maker, he begins to unravel those mysteries, those things that he has put in us. First, he tells us who we are. He goes beyond all our inadequacies, and he really gives us that beautiful picture that he sees about us. Awesome. So we'll continue again next time.